All right, so day 43 now. Depending on, not gonna try to rush it, but depending on how quick I can edit both the photo and the video that you're watching, I may be able to upload it before Saturday, the 4th. May 4th? May 4th. But the way how it's look like, it may be pushed to May 5th, which is going to be Sunday for you guys, right? Nonetheless, we'll see what happens, but let's just get straight into this. So, with this photo, it's rather weird because, believe it or not, before recording, I was debating on should I actually work on this photo, because in all essence, it's just a portion of a tree. Okay, well, before I get into that, this photo was taken in this one place. It's Bohick Bay Regional Park. Again, also in Virginia. Believe it or not, this was another place we went after the last video, Occoquan, after last video's photo that I edited, Occoquan, right? So after Occoquan, we went to this one, I guess, park, Bohick Bay Regional Park, and I just stumbled across this little, what would you call it, tree branch? Again, in all essence, it is really a tree branch because, again, as you're looking at the behind the scenes footage, I just saw it there. You know, nothing really too crazy about it. It's just that I found it relatively interesting. Weird, but interesting, but nonetheless. I decided to take a photo of it, and that's the photo we're editing today. So, again, a weird choice. I mean, no doubt about that. But what am I gonna go with? Where am I gonna go with this? Not entirely sure. We can only see what happens, right? Now, like as I was trying to say, why is this a weird photo? Well, because believe it or not, just seconds before before I started recording, I was actually about to do another photo, or to choose another photo to edit on, because personally speaking, I didn't feel right with this photo. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it's just something that, in all essence, I've never quite edited before, or just really, I don't know, this is not really my style. But I thought about it. I gave it a second look, I guess, and I decided, you know what, whatever. We'll see what happens. I'm sure I could probably think of something, right? As I'm doing this, I'll think of something. So that's really, in essence, the whole backstory of this photo. So nothing too crazy. Now, again, I gotta keep on reminding myself to crop these photos. In all essence, I don't know what the hell my cat's doing, but in all essence, I think that's all we really needed, and we should be good to go. Now, again, basic adjustments so far. Now, the plan or the goal I was having while taking this photo was making the tree here, tree/branch, I guess, the subject. Now, okay, we did kind of get that, but we're gonna do some things first. What we're gonna probably do is, again, kind of fake the little light source that we have, but we're gonna add in a radial gradient, mostly here to the top, here on the branches. Hell, maybe we might get it on the sides as well. Just ever so slightly raise up the exposure. I don't want to make it too obvious, because in all essence, we can kind of see that it's kind of fake. So we're gonna be working around, and if I need to make any changes, I'll come back and we'll see what happens. But I think right now we're just gonna create a fake light source that's just ever so slightly hidden the branches or the leaves up at the top. Although, as I'm looking at it, is that gonna serve me well? We'll see how that goes. Now, as far for another radial gradient, we may just add one here off to the side so we can get a portion as well. Okay, in all essence, that. All right, it's kind of noticeable, but maybe, hopefully, in all fairness, hopefully I can kind of fix it. But as I'm looking at it, it kind of is actually kind of obvious. But we'll leave it like that, and we're not gonna mess around with it. Like I kind of stated last video, I really shouldn't be adding in vignetting effects to every single one of my photos, but I just in some way I just really enjoy adding it. I don't know why. I really do enjoy adding it. I don't know if that's just me, but you know what? We're just gonna go straight ahead and already add in some vignetting effects. What I have realized is that back then, I used to use linear gradient for my vignetting effects off to the sides, which I guess it could be nice, but you know, more looking at it, I can just add in more radial gradients. That way here it can kind of, in some way, shape, or form, fit the photo better, or not make it as noticeable as, let's say, for an example, a linear gradient, right? Actually, as I'm seeing this, okay, we're gonna kind of hang on for a second with that. I am gonna go ahead and delete all these masks that I just did to the tree. I don't know, personally speaking, it's kind of noticeable, but if I need to come back and we'll add those in after the changes we've made, then we'll go ahead. So right now with masks, with the masking section, all we just really have done is add in some sort of a vignetting effect, although I'm sure with effects we'll properly do that, but nonetheless we'll come back to that soon. So like I've stated, day 45 will be the day I will test out that new style of, not photos, but style of videos, right? And I was, not that I was having a little, much of a breakdown, but not so much of a crisis, but I did want to go ahead and check to see, you know, if I did have at least 2 more photos, or in all essence really just 1 more photo, because day 45 is the day I'm gonna start doing those videos, but at least one more photo that should hopefully, you know, take me all the way up to day 45, which in all essence it's really just 1 photo, right? But I think after checking my memory card, because I checked my memory card to see what photo I was going to edit for this video, I think after checking it, I think I got one that I hope you guys do enjoy, because personally speaking, I really did enjoy that. The photo that I'm gonna edit, I guess, in all fairness, for the next video. I'm not gonna say tomorrow, because maybe you guys might already be seeing this on the 5th. Who knows? So, just for next video, it's probably gonna be one photo that I'm personally gonna like, of course, but I'm not gonna spoil it too much, because at that point, why the hell am I editing this photo, right? But nonetheless, it's like I've stated, I hope you guys do enjoy tomorrow's or next video's photo, because I really did like that. Unless we're not gonna talk more about next video, let's just start talking more about this video. So I'm seeing, and I guess with my goal with this photo, I may go ahead and do roughly the same changes I made from last video. And if you guys saw last video, that what we did is just making the picture, I guess, in a way more aesthetic. Is aesthetic the right word to say it? I'm not entirely sure, but we made the photo a little bit more aesthetic. We definitely made it a lot cooler, definitely a lot cooler. But that's just as I'm moving around as I'm going around and moving some sliders and adjusting adjusting the picture. That may be the same goal for this video, although I kind of maybe want to tweak it a little bit, but that's just kind of what at least I have so far right now. But at the same time, I want to definitely change it in some way, and as I'm seeing it, we may do it like this. So I can definitely see before color grading, it was leaning a little bit towards the green side because again, the majority of the change was for this one where we're dealing with the midtones for the red tone curve. But I think this global color grading into kind of, what would you consider this, dark blue to violet, I think it actually made the photo just a teensy bit more realistic, not too green. So I think we should be good there. But one thing about this park, apparently my dad says that it's been years since I visited this park, which, you know, I believe him. But if you guys were to go to this park, first off, the smell from this park, it just absolutely reeked. And yeah, I don't know if I showed it or if I'm gonna show it on the behind the scenes footage. I would still need a debate on it, or who knows, you guys might see it now. But yeah, there's a ton of dried up and dead fish all on the shoreline. And I mean, I found one that was covered in maggots. It was pretty disgusting if I do say so myself. But nonetheless, I really don't want to show that footage, but I'm kind of tempted to. But at the same time, I'm sure you guys wouldn't like that. So I'll decide. I'll decide if I want to include it or not. But I hopefully decide I don't show it, because I personally, for me, that was kind of disgusting. Now, believe it or not, I'm actually surprised as I'm zooming in here. We're this close or this zoomed into the photo, and as I can see it detail wise, it's actually still pretty tack sharp. I mean, I think if I look at this correctly, this was on my 30mm lens, 5.6, right? And ISO 200, and then what, 1/320 seconds. So as far as with detail, I'm actually pretty happy with it. Although it's never a bad idea to just slightly increase sharpening and detail, just a teensy bit. We don't need very much. Transform, no reason. Lens blur, no reason. Vignetting effect, kind of like what I've stated. We added more into that vignetting, I guess, style that I like personally, because I guess as I'm looking at it, I truly just like enjoying, or I truly just like adding in vignetting effects. I don't know. For me personally, I think especially if I have a subject with the picture, I think it actually makes the subject a little bit stand out in a way. Now, as I'm seeing it, I may need to add in more, or I may need to add in radial gradients off to the corners over here, just so I don't go overhand. But nonetheless, we'll see what I'll do. But personally, as I'm looking at it, you know, believe it or not, I did state that it's gonna be kind of the essence of last video as far as with just making it more aesthetic. But let me kind of take that back. If we recall all the way back to, can't remember which day it was, but to the Great Falls Park little series that I had going on, where roughly 4 or 5 videos of of these videos were just solely based on that location. Can't remember which one it was, but I think it was 2 videos. I need to see which day it was, but the 2 videos that kind of had that cool tone to it, but then it added in masking techniques that we kind of made the illusion of a light source. I know one of them was with the rock, and then another was with the animal in the frame. I can't remember what the animal was called, but nonetheless, this is what this photo is kind of reminding me of that Great Falls Park little series, or the photos that I did, right? Because the way how it's kind of looking like it's truly kind of looking like that. Should I be trying to do something differently? Maybe, but you know, in all fairness, I actually kind of like it. And you know, as I'm actually looking at this, I am gonna kind of go ahead and just take inspiration from that little video, and I'm gonna go ahead and create this false light illusion illuminated on the left hand side. So then that way here, like I've stated, now I can go in and add in my masks, mostly just for the branches, just so we can expose a little bit more of the, not the branches, but the leaves, right? As I look at it, it's mostly gonna be the left side of the leaves that it's gonna be more exposed than the right side. Again, we're gonna create that illusion. Now that I've talked about Great Falls Park and that series, the little series that I had going on, now I'm gonna just go ahead and kind of take inspiration and just recreate that in a way. So that's what we're gonna do. I find it a little bit cheeky in a way that I'm just going ahead and doing the same thing that I did a couple videos back, maybe, but at the same time, I really did enjoy. I did enjoy that little series I had going on. Definitely, hopefully, one day I can go back and take hopefully better photos in Great Falls Park, because that wasn't all of the great things I saw in that location. So hopefully I can go back and see that location. Now the only error that I'm gonna face right now is I only want the leaves to be exposed. The issue I'm having right now is portions of, or kind of past the leaves, kind of going into the sky. That's what's really gonna kind of mess me over. So now you can see that there's the illusion, but I'm gonna have to really see how I'm gonna do with this. Maybe if I decrease more of the feather, or actually no, not decrease it, increase more better, increase more of the feather. That way here, it doesn't get too much of the background, because again, I'm not trying to get the sky, I'm just trying to get the leaves. Although I could add it in with the brush, but well, no, I can still see here. I'm probably gonna spend some time on this, because yeah, I don't know how long this is gonna take, so give me just 1 second. Hopefully I find a solution with this. Okay, kind of like what I stated before, cutting that, using the brush and just going ahead and using what was the option, auto mask, in a way that did help me out. So now I kind of have some portion of the left hand side of the tree masked out and not the sky. So hopefully we should have no issues there, but I'm only about to find out and see if what I did is actually gonna help out or not. So again, what I really just want to do is just ever so slightly expose this top portion, and as I see it, I think it works. So I'm really happy with that. Now maybe just add in a little contrast here and there, maybe decreasing a little bit the highlights, because again, I don't want to make it too obvious, but nonetheless, whites we can stay the same. As I look at it, I might add in another brush. At this point, I might add in another brush and get maybe this side just a little bit, just so it doesn't look, I guess, in a way too weird. So in all fairness, we're just mostly gonna get the top portion, but again, mostly the left hand side. But now that I'm looking at it, personally speaking, it just looked a little weird. I'll just erase this portion. All right, so now we got the second mask for this side. Again, same thing, just a little bit, expose it. Although, you know what? Let's just forget about what I said. Personally speaking, that doesn't fit the photo right. I don't know, that doesn't fit the photo right. So, as I look at it, as I look at it, would it be better if I just do the whole thing? If I just expose the whole thing? But maybe that wouldn't look out, or that wouldn't be too good. I'm not sure. I would really need to think about that. But nonetheless, I think what we have so far is good. Now, if we do a quick before and after, yikes. Okay, so like I stated, this is kind of like last video that kind of the original raw photo had a kind of film style to it. Not really, but it's there. But now the changes we definitely made the photo cooler. Again, inspiration from that Great Falls Park little series we had going on. I'm just a little bit in between if I need to add in more. If I want to expose the whole branch or play around with the options I have so it can kind of be a nice, so it can kind of be a good balance between faking the illusion but at the same time making it realistic, you know. But I'm gonna have to really think about that, so let me just take another several minutes over here and see what I can do. All right, so I took some time. I was really debating, like what I said previously, I was really debating if I should make the branch exposed entirely, but I checked that and some portions of the sky were also included with the subject mask, and that would have just been a hassle to take off or readjust. I went back and I think I just dialed down the exposure just ever so slightly, because I think what was kind of tripping me off was the fact that the leaves were more exposed than how I liked it. But I think after looking at it, I think we have a good balance. I personally like it, so you know what? We're just gonna leave it as it is, and I'm just gonna call it quits for this one. Like I stated, it was definitely a little weird photo to say the least, because I mean the main subject for this photo is just a branch from a fallen tree, but nonetheless I wanted to kind of do something different and not just, I wanted to do something different, right? I think personally I liked it. I liked how it came out. It kind of made the tree, or not the tree, but the little branch a little bit more interesting to say the least. But again, that's just me. That's just the way how I saw it, and that's just how it's gonna be. So look at the raw photo again, just like last video. Bland, colorless, nothing too special about it. Taking inspiration from that Great Falls Park series and just made some little illusions with masking, vignetting, a little light illusion from the corner, and then kind of highlighting a little portion of the branch. And I think we got a pretty decent photo, to say the least. I mean, again, I personally like how when I use or when I implement different masking techniques, as far as with radial gradients. We didn't utilize linear gradients with this one, but I like when I utilize radial gradients, brush, just different elements with masking. And I truly, at the end of the day, I truly like how it all comes into play. So again, it could be just a copy and paste of what I did already from a previous video, but again, I liked how it was, and we're just gonna leave it like that. So other than that, that's really all for this video. Again, if I try my best to edit this, well, I finished editing the photo, but if I try my best editing with this video, hopefully I should have enough time to upload it today. But most likely how things are looking like, you're probably going to be seeing this already on the 5th, on Sunday. So I'll see what I can do, but if not, it is what it is. Hopefully by, at this point, I am going to say the 5th, tomorrow, as I'm recording this video, either I publish my last style of videos like this, and if I do that and I still have some time to spare, then hopefully as well tomorrow you guys will see day 45, which would be the first video that I'm gonna experiment on and not do this anymore. Go out, you know, at this point I'm just gonna say my backyard and just see what photos I can do or what photos I can take, and we'll see how that goes. But other than that, that's all I have to say. Hopefully tomorrow I'll see you guys on the, I guess would be considered the last video of this style, and we'll see what happens then.